Alright, yo, what up guys, MxgicIQ here, and today I'm going to try a new video format. Essentially what I'm going to do is I'm going to play through a whole playlist live. I'm not going to get the best times possible, but we're just going to try something a little different, and I'm going to show you guys the build beforehand. So today I have an F40 build update, and while I'm doing the gameplay, I actually want to talk about a topic while I'm doing the gameplay. I think it might be fun. It also might allow for me to expand on my content while actually just playing the game and enjoying it, and using different cars that although they might not be the best, they might be lobby killers, you know what I mean? But the F40, which is a meta car in S-Class, has gotten even better, and it's with less grip. I know that sounds crazy, but let's get straight into it, man. And the topic we'll be discussing today in our gameplay will be the new update and things that I just think need to be fixed and are mandatory if they don't want this game to fail, because people are already quitting. In my opinion, not playing the game anymore because they don't enjoy it anymore. We're using the 3.6 liter V6 as always. The build is completely different though, as we are going elite all the way from induction over to exhaust, which means the ECU and the fuel system are both elite. The twin turbos are going to be Pro Silver twin turbos with a sport bottle of nitrous. Gold regular suspension. We're using the stock Pro brakes, elite grip tires, a basic clutch, a 4-speed gearbox, a basic differential, and both nitrous drift and grip auxiliaries. One of the things I already want to talk about being fixed is resetting the auxiliaries in order for them to work, and this is how you do it. You go to empty slot on one of the auxiliaries, then go back to the auxiliary to re-equip it. I shouldn't have to do that in order to get the maximum performance out of my car. That's number one, okay? That needs to be fixed. Now, the handling on this car, we're using 62% grip all the way to the right that you can. We're using the basic stock. I mean, there's an empty slot differential for a reason, because we want to go all the way to the right and use 62% grip. Trust me, it feels just like 100% grip. That's another topic for another video, but I'm starting to realize cars don't need to be 100% grip, and they don't need to be drift builds either. They can be somewhere in the middle and still feel the same as 100% grip, and you can get more power out of it. We were able to gain another 8 horsepower and 8 torque on this car, and it drives basically identical with just a little bit more control. Steering sensitivity is right in the middle. Downforce is all the way towards high. Traction control is off, and drift entry is brake tap. As a matter of fact, somebody just challenged turbocharged. Let's see what, races are in that playlist. I believe, yeah, Rapid Transit, Lakeside, not doing that. So we're going to get over here and we're going to challenge Breathless, or we're going to challenge a Serial Thriller. Just stay tuned, you guys. Let's get one of these races done. I think I'm going to challenge Serial Thriller, so I'll see you guys in the gameplay. One thing I've also noticed that if you guys hear is the Pro and Super and Elite inductions all sound different. So as you guys hear, this is the Pro twin turbos. This thing sounds good. I'm talking about the forced induction. I love that. I love that blow off valve. It sounds so nice. But anyway, I'm gonna challenge the Serial Thriller. Let's get this race started, man. And this is problem number 2. This matchmaking system. This is so boring, man. I got lucky that one person raced me. AI needs to backfill in multiplayer. It needs to happen. Or there needs to be a single race feature in multiplayer, considering you split the 2 progression systems. For whatever reason you came up that was a good idea. Since you split the progression systems, we have no way to race with our multiplayer stats unless I want to go through an entire campaign, which I haven't even touched. So that's another thing. That's thing number 2. Number 3, as we're getting into the race here, you see we're loading in. Number 3, man. I've been realizing when I swap motors for cars and buy different motors and try different things, my motors are disappearing, which is taking my money, which in a game where the grind is already stupid ridiculous and you're banning people for, glitching or whatever, where are we supposed to get our money back for that? Because I've wasted over millions of dollars, over tens of millions of dollars on motors that I will never get back. You're going to launch this thing in 3rd gear, by the way. Again, all this is being recorded live. So these are like live cut comms that I'm doing now. I think it's going to be more fun and just a lot more interactive. And we get to actually discuss topics while I'm racing. I might, oh my god, and the bouncing too. I would like it if our sliders were able to go like 100% grip for any car. It might be a little broken with certain cars, but it would be cool to see what kind of builds you can make. And I know a popular topic right now is the drift physics, especially with that new mod that came out with the drift mod. I personally think if you mess with the drift physics, then you mess with like all the micro drifting physics and everything else. Then you mess with guys like Kois who are stupid fast at drifting, and then they have to relearn their entire meta, and it might mess up anything with drift racing. So that was a pretty big mistake there. It's going to butcher our time a little bit. But like, I personally think that, you know, they shouldn't really touch the drift physics. I agree that drifting should feel a little bit better, but it's a little too late to change core physics of the game like that. You always want to go through here in third gear. For some reason, if you shift up to fourth, you obviously bog. But this way, you ride 150 miles per hour all through that section. We got a decent amount of air there. I'm going to try and extend this to the tarmac and get a full crown on exit. That was perfect. That was pretty good too. Bouncing on this car is the only issue, but dude, honestly, like, downgrading the traction, I knew at some point, I was talking to Voided and Kois about this a while ago, I knew at some point, like, something between drift and grip was going to feel just as good and almost be more beneficial considering the power gains. And I would say this is close to it. Like, it's not perfect, but it feels pretty good. Somebody even crazier will figure out something else. And you saw we had a hiccup and we still got a 201. We had a pretty bad hiccup. Probably a couple. That last corner was pretty slow too. But we still got a 201. This car is definitely capable of 157s and 156s for you crazy guys that can Tron turn. Tron turning is essentially burst nitrous with an e-brake in it to flip around the corner extra hard. I'm not very good at it, hence why I don't do it. There's a few extra cuts you could probably take there too, but this build is very fast. And it's 62% grip. It didn't look like a 62% grip build because this car is so planted. So I'm starting to think that certain cars, you're going to be able to squeeze a lot more out of it with less grip, which is kind of nice to see. I actually like that. We're going to get into Getting High tonight. This is the second race as well, very popular in this playlist. As far as this car and the GTR, I still think this car is on top of the GTR, but the GTR does have the time rankings. The V12 is a lot better. But I would like to see some car balancing because I want to make new builds. I'd like to see some balancing going on where maybe certain cars get better, or if they unrestrict the grip like bar, there's going to be so many better and good cars that just aren't in meta right now that are going to appear very, very viable if they do that. It'd be really nice to see. And it create more content for the game too, because I already see the viewers like dying off on like Twitch. Like, it only had like 100 views or something like that the other day in the category, and at a prime time to stream, which is kind of sad to see. I expect to see those numbers a little bit higher. That was pretty pathetic right there. It's a pretty lousy section for myself. It's getting pretty hard for me to make content for this game too, just because I'm constantly looking for like the best this, the best that. Because in the way I see it, you know, certain builds just don't compete, but then, you know, you're beating people by 1,000+ yards. Of course, there's a couple builds that are going to be competitive somewhere between there and 1,000 yards, so I don't know. It's hard to tell. That's why I'm going to do some of these cut-com type of videos, because it's a lot more fun, and then maybe you guys can see more of my personality and get some rage moments too. I think it'd be kind of funny. This is my third video on the F40 though. I mean, this thing keeps getting better over time. I really like this personal version of it. Like, I like this more than the 100% grip version, honestly. It's a little bit different. It's very consistent. I'm not stressing driving it at all. I mean, we're having full conversation while I'm getting some pretty decent times here. I mean, this thing's on a move. Traffic, please, needs to go. This update, if they could get rid of traffic. Not rid of it, man, but like out of the way. Because right there, I could cut through there instead of having to go wide around. Completely changes my time. Could have got a 151, 150. I think I made a couple mistakes there on that downhill section. I boofed that turn. I could have got like a 149 here. But it's all good. I mean, I'm just talking and doing a full playlist with barely any cuts, right? So that's just what's going to happen. Now on rapid transit, I was able to get a 238 with this car with some mess ups. I'm pretty sure it's capable of 236s, but we're going to go ahead and get into that gameplay as well. If you guys are still watching right now, make sure you guys comment down below, IQ gang, man. It means a lot. You guys have been showing so much support and so much love. I'm sorry I missed a couple days of uploading, man. Sometimes, you know, I just need a life reset, and I needed this weekend to just, you know, really just tune into myself, because I personally was just, you know, going through a lot of change, and I'm trying to get used to that still. But starting out this week strong, we're going to keep it very consistent with everything, workout schedule, everything, man. Make sure you guys are keeping yourselves healthy, because that's what matters at the end of the day. Health is number one, okay? I'm just rambling. But anyway, let's get into some rapid transit here. I've also noticed that when you launch in the green bar, you get different launches depending on where you launch in the green bar. I don't know if that's a bug or if that's on purpose. I don't know if I should say that should be a change or not, because I don't think it's necessary to have 3 different launches in a green bar. I mean, you can have a boggy launch, you can have a really good launch where you kind of spin a little bit, but not all the way. It's just kind of like all around what you could get. It's like RNG launching. Oh, and then another thing, I kind of want to say, I feel like Need for Speed's kind of heading in a competitive direction, and I kind of like it. I wish they would like come out with some kind of like ranked mode. I feel like that'd be really cool. Like a Need for Speed Unbound ranked, like that'd be super sick. Maybe it's just that Call of Duty ranked mode that's getting to me. Let me know if you guys like that, you know, Call of Duty content too. I want to keep pushing multi-game content, because I don't want to get stuck on one game, because it's really hard when I don't have enough content specifically for like Unbound to keep pushing Unbound all the time. Because I could put out fluff, right? Like I kind of re-uploaded like 2 videos last week, but I wanted those videos to get seen a little bit. Or I re-uploaded one, and then the other video was like a funny moments. And it went well the last time I uploaded it. Maybe I did something wrong in the title or the tags, but it didn't do that well the second time I put some stream highlights. But I think everybody's just kind of getting over it, man. I think the effect might be dying off, possibly just a little bit. That was dang near a 237, so not a bad drive right there. Got a pretty good time. All 3 of those times are very competitive, so it just shows you this car is very, very good, even with 62% grip. So we're going to start seeing a few more builds now where I'm going to revisit some stuff and realize that, man, maybe I don't need to run 100% grip all the time. Because as you guys can see, that wasn't me going super try-hard sweat. Like, that was just, like, straight off the rip, like, boom. 3 races right back to back to back. All only 1 or 2 seconds off what I could have got, which is potentially the fastest, back to back to back. So it just shows how consistent this car can be. I really wanted to showcase how consistent the car could be with 60% grip. So I hope you guys enjoyed. It's been your boy MxgicIQ. I will see you guys in the next video, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. I just said that. Love you guys. Peace out. Let me know what you guys want to see in this new update and how you like the build. Later.